Welcome to Recovery Inspired Hope. My name's Jamie, and I'm the host of this amazing recovery show. So lately I've been doing a couple different things, and I've started this new series called Diary of a Drug Addict. In this series, we're talking about scandals that happen in our addiction, from the worst day of our life to the most embarrassing things that we've done for drugs, to how the addiction has affected our way of seeing people, and through our experiences, what we're doing different to change that. So I want to tell you guys a couple stories that I've recently released on my TikTok, and they have really just gone all over the community. And so what I want to talk to you about is, number one, how the power differential of doctors needs to be talked about. So doctors have this power to write prescriptions, and when you are a drug-seeking pill addict, like I was, you will do whatever it takes to get that prescription. So when I was in my active addiction, something that happened was I went to this doctor. I had gotten in a car accident. It wasn't a major car accident, of course, we went to the doctor. We got an MRI because that's what we do so that we can get prescriptions, right? And doctors should be educated about this and should really protect people from themselves when they are pill addicts. I feel like that's their duty as a doctor, as a medical professional, that they should be looking out for people in addiction. But one doctor took advantage of me. So this was in Snellville, Georgia. I was probably 28 years old, and I got in this little car accident. So I go to this place, and within the first minute, 10 minutes of this guy examining me, he started touching my breasts. And I was completely shocked because this guy was like a younger guy, like a family man. Clearly I'm strung out, you know what I mean? Like, there was no denying it. Like, you could put all the makeup on me you wanted to and all the nice clothes, and you knew that I was a dressed up trash can, okay? I was sick. And so this guy, this doctor, he proceeded to start touching my breasts, and then, gave me a couple prescriptions, and he asked me to come back when the office was closed. So I ended up going back to the doctor's office when the office was closed, and he wanted to have sex. And with that, he gave me a prescription for Oxycontin, which is, a very, very addictive pain medication. I think he gave me like 60 or 80 Oxy 80s or something like that. It was a lot. It was a ridiculous amount. I mean, just came in, and then he continued to give me prescriptions out the back door. And he would have me and my girlfriends come in, and he would have us just, come in. We would meet him. We would have sex with him, and then he would give us prescriptions for whatever we wanted. At that time, I think we were getting Adderall, we were getting Xanax, we were getting every kind of pain pill, Percocet, Loratab, Oxys, Roxys, all of it. And, we didn't have to pay like a fee or nothing. Like, of course we did pay a fee. We paid, with our bodies, which today, looking at it, I'm like, I can't believe that happened. And I can't believe that, I participated in that, because, working this program of recovery, I am a new creation. But at the time, I was like, what a hella sweet deal. Like, all I have to do is, let this guy touch me, and I can get all these pills. And that just shows you how truly sick I was. And after releasing this video on TikTok, what I found was that I was not the only one. There are so many stories like mine. And I know that, with the incorporation of the pharmacies linking together and the DEA and, but that wasn't the only doctor, right? And this is just my story. This is not all of the other women and probably men out there, right? There was another guy, a doctor that I used to see in Decatur, and it was very easy for me to go in. I had to pay $250. And I did have to wait. It was like it was like an all-day event, right? You had to like wait, sit in the waiting room. There were so many people. And the doctor, he was kind of crazy, but he didn't seem like a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seemed like a family man. But he clearly was a businessman as well. And so he would give me 90 Roxys. He would give me 180 Percocets. He would give me 180 Somas, which is a muscle relaxer. And all of this just for paying the $250 fee to be seen by him. Now, what was my medical conditions? I had carpal tunnel. That was it. So I had carpal tunnel, which is just like an inflammation right in here. And what would happen was, and this was real, I really did have this medical condition. When I would sleep at night, these nerves and everything would get inflamed and compressed, and I would get like shooting pains down my hand. So rather than, maybe looking at why are the nerves compressed, no. Let's just give her a ton of pain medication, because that makes so much more sense, right? So this went on for so many years. I mean, this was probably like 2 years. Even through a pregnancy, I went there. And it was crazy because I was, I went through a whole pregnancy, and I just went and and I would wear baggy clothes and things like that. And he would say stuff like, you really need to go on a diet and lose some weight. I was pregnant. And he never said anything about it, just kept continuing to give me my prescriptions. And it was so crazy because I remember even, when I did have my daughter, I think it was maybe it was like 3 months after she was born, I actually brought her to the appointment with me, and he was just like, oh, what a cute little baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello, did you not realize that I've been pregnant for the last 10 months that I've been coming here? You know what I'm saying? It's just insane. And I just suddenly lost all of this weight. You know what I mean? It was like, you can't tell me, I don't care what kind of busy practice you have. I don't care how many patients you see. I don't care what kind of memory you have. You're a doctor. You should know these things. Like, you should realize, you should be able to put 2 and 2 together, unless you just don't care. Unless you're just trying to line your pockets, which is basically what all the doctors were doing, right? We had so many friends. We had like this network, right? And it was like, when Dr. Day came, whoa, it was like Christmas, okay? Dr. Day was like Christmas because we were getting high and we were making money, okay? 2 things that we love to do as persons with substance use disorder, right? We love to make money. We love to get high. So Dr. Day was like Christmas for us. So we had this network of like, there was probably 7 or 8 of us, and we knew when every single person was going to the doctor, and we was getting ready. We was getting our money out. We were getting, oh, you need a ride to the doctor? I'll bring you to the doctor, because if you're taking somebody to the doctor, you're going to get high that day, And it was like, whatever day it was, you knew that the community was about to be flooded with pills, and I always definitely tried to make friends with older people, because older people always had the good scripts, right? But during that time, back in like 2008 to 2011, it didn't matter if you were old or young. everybody was getting prescriptions. There was this one doctor in Lawrenceville, and I remember he was selling, giving everybody Viagra. All the men were getting Viagra. They were selling the Viagra and probably, I'm sure, taking the Viagra. Selling the Viagra, taking the Viagra, and they were, making a killing off of it. And so were these doctors, a lot of these places were straight cash, and a lot of them were, for, insurance. But it was just like, man, the opioid epidemic, I was just right in the middle of it, and at the time, my addiction hadn't really taken over me yet. This was still in the this is fun, we're partying, did I need them? Yes, but not like at the end of my addiction where, it was taking me into jails, institutions, and death. This was still in the fun parts of it. You know what I mean? It was exciting. It was an adventure. Who's going to the doctor today? What kind of pills are we going to get? How are we going to get messed up? And that was just how we lived our life, And it's today looking back at it, I'm like, this was crazy. This was insane. And the fact that these doctors were taking advantage of us, people who were sick, people who were struggling with opioid use disorder, and they were just feeding our addiction. They were just feeding it so that they could line their pockets and that they could work their perversions, whatever that looked like for them. So I just want to talk about this. I want to bring it to the light. I want to hear about your experiences in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Jamie Tall on YouTube, and we will see you next time for another episode of the Drug Addict Diaries.